What's up guys, my name is Brandon, and just as promised, here's my follow-up video on iOS 12.0.1, which was just released to everybody on Monday. So if you guys watched that video, you'll know that I went over everything that's been changed and fixed with iOS 12.0.1, and today, I hate to say it, but this update did not fix the major issues that I've been facing here on my iPhone XS Max. So let's discuss these issues first, and then I'll discuss the performance and the battery life on 12.0.1. And before we get into these issues and before you leave a negative comment, I am fully aware that not everybody is experiencing these issues, and I never implied that, and I never will imply that everybody is having these issues. I'm just simply telling you guys about my personal experience and also what I've been reading from people that follow me on Twitter and also what I see on forums. All right, so now that we have that clear, first things first, the Wi-Fi connectivity issue has not been fixed on iOS 12.0.1 here on my iPhone XS Max. I'm still experiencing the issue where my Wi-Fi will just completely drop at least once per day. And I know that I'm not the only one experiencing this issue either, because multiple people over on Twitter responded to my tweet about this issue, claiming that they were having the exact same issue. And you can see here, one guy even said that iOS 12.0.1 introduced the Wi-Fi issue to his device because he didn't even have that issue on iOS 12.0. So not only has this update not fixed what Apple said it fixed, but it's also introduced this issue to at least a small percentage of people. And since I know that this issue can't be only affecting me, I got curious and I looked around on forums, and this seems to be an issue for a lot of people. Now, a lot of people doesn't mean the majority of people. I just mean that it only affects a small number of people. I mean, I say a lot of people, but in reality, that's probably only like 1% of people with an iPhone XS or XS Max on 12.0.1. But still, that's hundreds of thousands of devices that are having this issue. And if we go back to the iOS 12.0.1 changelog, you can see this was the software update. It gave us a description of everything that was fixed. You can see right here, the second bullet point resolves an issue that could cause iPhone XS devices to rejoin a Wi-Fi network at 2.4 gigahertz instead of 5 gigahertz. And as I mentioned in that video, and nothing has changed since then, I only have the password set up for the 5 gigahertz band. So instead of trying to connect to the 2.4, it would just completely drop and then eventually come back about 15 seconds later to the 5 gigahertz Wi-Fi band. And some people have suggested resetting the network settings, so I did that, but that did not change a thing. Now, not only is the Wi-Fi connectivity issue not fixed, but neither is the LTE connectivity issue. I've been using my iPhone to make calls about 5 to 6 times per day, I'd say on average since Monday, and the person on the receiving end will sometimes tell me that I'm cutting out and that they can't even hear me, even though I'm in the same place as I've always been with iOS 12.0, and I never had any kind of issues with coverage or LTE or anything. And when I say I haven't had that issue with 12.0, I'm also talking about with the exact same device, the iPhone XS Max here. So that reason alone does lead me to believe that this is a software issue, but I'm starting to have worries about this possibly being a hardware related issue. And I don't mean just for the LTE coverage, I mean for the Wi-Fi, I mean for people having issues with Bluetooth, I mean ChargeGate. And like I said, I do believe that these can be fixed with software. All I'm saying is that I am having some concerns. And speaking of ChargeGate, iOS 12.0.1 did in fact fix this for me, but there are still some reporting that it hasn't been fixed in 12.0.1 on their iPhone XS and XS Max. And like I said, since software fixed this issue for me, it leads me to believe that this is software based, but it's still, all of this stuff still begs the question, if it's not fixing anything for some people, it begs the question, are there a small percentage of devices out there that are defective or just have hardware related issues? I mean, I know it's still a small percentage of people, but it still needs to be said. So yeah, iOS 12.0.1 is a pretty disappointing update for me because I was really looking forward to it fixing the Wi-Fi issue and the LTE issue, but it has not done that. And by the way, that LTE coverage issue I did not have with iOS 12.0. That actually got introduced to me with 12.0.1 because I saw a lot of people talking about it when they were on iOS 12.0, but I never had that issue until 12.0.1, which again is very interesting. So yeah, now that we have all those issues out of the way, I really hope that Apple sees this video and, makes these changes and, fixes these devices, because these are extremely annoying bugs that, affect day-to-day activities. I mean, phone calls, we're talking about Wi-Fi. This affects your daily life. And especially when it's on my daily driver, it's not a beta, so it should be as stable as possible. So it's pretty disappointing that I have to report on this, but I need to say it. But aside from those apparent fixes not really being fixes, the performance on iOS 12.0.1 is good. I mean, it's pretty much the same as iOS 12. I haven't really noticed a big difference, which I mean is a win because it's not worse than iOS 12, so I can't really say anything negative. But I will say that the battery is actually slightly better on 12.0.1 than it is on 12.0. And this is mainly only for the iPhone XS and XS Max, because I did notice that it got a little bit worse on my iPhone 6. And this is possibly because the iPhone XS and XS Max Max. This was the first update that they got, so it would make sense for the battery to actually improve on the newer devices. So you can see right there for my last 24 hours, I got over 8 hours of screen on time and 23 minutes of screen off time, and I still have 46% battery left. So really good battery life here on 12.0.1. I'm really impressed with the battery life. But anyways, guys, that's pretty much it. This was the follow-up that I didn't think I was going to be making for iOS 12.0.1. I was very optimistic. I was sure that this was going to fix all my issues, and it's sad that I have to make this video reporting that it didn't really fix all of my issues except for ChargeGate. But anyways, I still hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to leave a comment down below if 12.0.1 fixed your issues. If you're having any of the issues I'm having, just any thoughts at all, leave them down in the comment section below. I'm really curious to see how this is performing on your device. So yeah, make sure you guys subscribe so you don't miss any updates to this. I mean, I will be posting a video when and if these issues do get fixed. I'm sure they will get fixed because, again, I do believe it's software. I do have my hardware, concerns, but I do think that everything can be solved with software. So yeah, I will be doing a video when these do eventually get fixed, so stay tuned for that. But anyways, thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.